There certainly isn't, but we'll find a way, don't worry, he said. I didn't worry. I had complete confidence in my father's ability to find a way out of difficulties. He used to say every problem has a solution hidden away somewhere, and if only you look hard enough, you'll find it. There were British soldiers in the streets, but they did not make it feel much safer. They were just waiting for troop ships to come and take them away. No one, it seemed, was interested in defending Java, only in getting out as fast as possible. Although the Dutch were unpopular with the Javanese people, there was no ill feeling against individual Europeans. I could walk safely through the streets. Occasionally, small boys in the crowded Chinese quarter would point at me and shout, Orang Balandi, meaning Dutchman. But they did so in good humor, and I didn't know the language well enough to stop and explain that the English were in Dutch. For them, all white people were the same, and understandably so. Oibo. My father's office was in the commercial area along the canal banks. Our two-storied house about a mile away was an old building with a roof of red tiles and a broad balcony which had stone dragons at either end. There were flowers in the garden almost all the year round. If there was anything in Batavia, that is Jakarta, more regular than the bombing, it was the rain, which came pattering down on the roof and on the banana fronds almost every afternoon. In the hot and steamy atmosphere of Java, the rain was always welcome. There were no anti-aircraft guns in Batavia, that is Jakarta. At least we never heard any. And the Jap bombers came over at will, dropping their bombs by daylight. Sometimes bombs fell in the town. One day the building next to my father's office received a direct hit and tumbled into the river. A number of office workers were killed. The schools closed, and Sono and I had nothing to do all day except sit in the house playing darts or carom, wrestling on the carpets, or playing the gramophone. We had records by Gracie Fields, Harry Lauder, George Formby, and Arthur Askey, all popular British artists of early 1940s. One song by Arthur Askey made fun of Adolf Hitler with the words, Adolf, we are gonna hang up your washing on the Siegfried line. If the Siegfried line is still there, it made us feel quite cheerful to know that back in Britain, people were confident of winning the war. One day, Sono said, the bombs are falling on Batavia, not in the countryside. Why don't we get cycles and ride out of town? I fell in with the idea at once. After the morning all clear had sounded, we mounted our cycles and rode out of town. Mine was a hired cycle, but Sono's was his own. He had had it since the age of 5, and it was constantly in need of repair. The soul has gone out of it, he used to say. Our fathers were at work. Sono's mother had gone out to do her shopping. During air raids, she took shelter under the most convenient shop counter and wouldn't be back for at least an hour. We expected to be back before lunch. We were soon out of town on a road that passed through rice fields, pineapple orchards, and cinchona plantations. On our right lay dark green hills. On our left, groves of coconut palms, and beyond them, the sea. Men and women were working in the rice fields. Knee-deep in mud, their broad-rimmed hats protecting them from the fierce sun. Here and there, a buffalo wallowed in a pool of brown water, while a naked boy lay stretched out on the animal's broad back. We took a bumpy track through the palms. They grew right down to the edge of the sea. Leaving our cycles on the shingle, we ran down a smooth sandy beach and into the shallow water. "Don't go too far in," warned Sono. "There may be sharks about." Wading in amongst the rocks, we searched for interesting shells, then sat down on a large rock and looked out to sea, where a sailing ship moved placidly on the crisp blue waters. It was difficult to imagine that half the world was at war, and that Batavia, that is Jakarta, 2 or 3 miles away,